Dollar Tree has the cutest coastal items to craft with. Hey Bestie, this is Lisa. Welcome or welcome back. If you want to craft your best life with me, then let's get started right now. For this coastal DIY, I've got this cute little wooden picture with a turtle on it, and I love the beaded handle. I'm going to take this napkin. I believe I got the napkin at, I want to say it was Hobby Lobby quite a long time ago, but you can find really good coastal napkins just about anywhere that they sell them. I'm going to use a piece of tape to separate. This is a 3-ply, so there's going to be 2 pieces behind that pattern piece, and using a piece of masking tape is a really quick way to do it. Now I'm just going to lay the napkin over and see how much I actually need. And it works out that I actually only need like a quarter of that napkin. I'm going to take some Mod Podge and paint it over just the turtle. Now once I've got that on there, I'm going to lay that napkin right over the top, spread it with my fingers a little bit, and use my brayer to flatten it out. Now, while it's still wet, you have a couple options here. You can just rip around the edges very carefully by pushing down on the part that, is going to be staying, but sometimes that pulls up the napkin. I ended up taking a blade. I just wanted to show you that option. But I ended up taking a blade and very carefully going around. Better to do this once it's dry so that you don't pull up anything that's, meaning to stay. I'm going to take my off-white paint that I have. You can use any paint you want. And I'm just going to paint around the frame. I thought that would look so pretty. I've got this nautical rope from the Dollar Tree. It is a 3-ply, but I'm just going to keep 2-ply. I'll remove one of the plies. And then I'm just going to twist up the end, and I'm going to glue the end so that it will lay down flatter. Now that I have the end of the rope taken care of, I'm going to line the inside edge of this picture with my hot glue, and I'm going to lay down the twisted double strand part of the rope. And I'm going to put that all the way around the whole inside of that square, and then I'll cut it off and glue it down at the end. And that is it. Didn't that turn out so pretty? I really love this one. And if you wanted to, you could paint the beads white. I just decided not to, and I left the background natural too. What do you think? For this DIY, for the coastal DIY, I'm going to take this picture with a starfish on it. And it's just like the other one, but it's just a different picture. I'm going to take some caulk. Now, I got this at the Dollar Tree, so you can get it there. And I squeezed it out all over the starfish as much as I could get out there. It's a pretty tight squeeze, let me tell you. Anyway, I got it all out eventually. Now I'm just going to spread it around with my finger and try to cover the whole starfish. And then I'll wipe away any excess that got on, the wood that's around it. I wanted to create a texture, and I will tap my finger on it a little bit too. Now I'm going to take my white paint and I'm just going to go around the edges of the frame, and I've got that 3-strand cord, that's nautical rope. I'm going to go ahead and glue the edges, but I'm only going to use a single strand on this one, and I'm going to glue around the inside of the starfish picture and just lay down that single strand of this 3-strand cord rope. Easy for me to say. I think that this particular nautical rope just adds so much to the coastal vibe. I mean, it is a nautical rope after all, right? All right, so now that I've got that all on there, I think that looks amazing. But I want to make the starfish look more like a starfish. So I'm going to take my pumpkin Waverly chalk paint and just use a stippling stencil type brush and just dab it on there. My caulk is dry now, so I can do that. And once I get all of that on there, I'm going to take a little bit of that white again and just very lightly tap over it to dull down the orange a little bit. And I actually think this turned out looking a lot like a real starfish. I did also take a little pointy kind of a tool, and I went in and I peeled out all of the caulking that was inside those little holes on the starfish. I just forgot to turn the camera on for that, but that was very easy to do. I just kind of pulled that out of there. And there goes the white that I'm just kind of lightly tapping on just to kind of make it a little bit more dimensional in color. I didn't want it to be that solid orange. Look at that. I'm so happy with how this turned out. I just think this looks so realistic. It's almost like I glued an actual starfish on there. That's how much I love it. You'll have to let me know what you think. It was so easy to make. And again, it just looks so realistic.
Every change has a reason. Baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season.
For this coastal DIY, I've got another one of these pictures. This one has a seahorse on it, which I think is absolutely adorable. And what I'm going to do on this is use a collection of different colors, moss, pool, lagoon, and this one is agave. I have in a different container because I love it so much. And I'm going to start just painting different parts of the seahorse in the different colors. And not exactly an ombre, but just kind of a fading of one color into another. So I'm just using a smaller art brush to do it. And then I decided to put the moss at the top above the agave. I wasn't really sure when I started the order I was going to go in. And it's okay if it does get a little bit on the wood because I'm going to use some white wax by Waverly to kind of cover that up. Now I'm going to take the next color and go down and basically just keep doing this until I get all the different colors on the seahorse. You can see what I'm doing there. I'm not worried about what the line looks like right where I start the new color, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So now I'm just going to end with the lightest color of all. I'm going to take some water on a clean brush and I'm going to go blurring the lines between each of the paint colors, and that's what I'm going to do starting right here. And that way it's just more of a gradual change, so it's not like a block kind of color thing. So I just thought that looked really pretty to just slightly blend them. Now I'm going to take the moss chalk paint. I'm going to paint the whole frame around the outside. I thought that would be a nice color to use, and I only used a little bit of it on the seahorse, but I think it's super pretty and it goes along with it. Now I'm going to take that white wax I mentioned, and I'm just going to very carefully with a teeny tiny art brush go around those edges and in those holes to try to cover up anywhere I might have made a little mistake. And that really does do the trick. And then I'll take a bigger brush and do the rest of the background just to kind of blend it all together. Now I'm going to take some very thin jute and I'm just going to attach it along that inner portion next to the frame. I just think that really ties this all together and helps contribute to that coastal look, and I really love that finished look there. I thought this one, because it's underwater, like it really needed some kind of seaweed look, so I thought these greenery worked for that. So I just glued some on the one side and a smaller piece on the left side, just to give it that idea like the seahorse is actually floating in the water. And I love this one. It's definitely one of my favorites today. You have to let me know what you think. I do love seahorses. I think they're the most amazing little creatures, and they're so cool to watch. Let me know what you think.
Every change has a reason. Baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season lives out.
For this DIY from Dollar Tree in the Coastal Pics, this one's an octopus, which I thought was also very cute. We're going to go very rustic on this one. I'm going to take my Waverly Antique Wax. I'm going to take some more of that thin jute. And what I'm going to do is just start painting the frame around, but I'm going to use it as a stain on the frame. So I'm going to be painting some on and then taking a paper towel and wiping it back. That way you can still see the wood grain through it and it's not quite as dark. And I like that look. It just gives it a little bit more dimension. You can see that right there, how you can start seeing the wood grain when you wipe that back. I'll do that for the whole frame. And I also did the beads on top. I thought that looked really cool on this one. Now I'm just going to very lightly paint the antique wax with a wet brush, and there you go. I did the octopus in the same thing. I'm going to take the jute and I'm just going to line it on the inside of the frame just to kind of tie all of my pieces together to give them that kind of finished coastal look with either jute or nautical rope. And this one was super, super easy, very fast. I am going to paint in that inside the white Waverly wax because I did overpaint a little bit on the octopus, and I thought, okay, let's do that again, and that will just kind of make the octopus stand out a teeny bit more. It's just slightly lighter than the wood, but barely. You can just see the wood right through it. I love using that Waverly white wax. I've noticed that a lot of people don't use it, and I'm just not sure if they don't know what to do with it. But it's basically like the antique wax, but you just do it with white, where you can paint it on, wipe it off, whatever you want. But I do like the look. Unfortunately, it wasn't fully dry when I took the picture, so you can still see some portions of it. But when it dries, you won't even notice it. Let me know what you think of this one.
Baby, let it come to you. Every soul, every season
Ready for more inspiration? Here's another video I think you'll really like. If you click on it, I will see you there. You are truly a blessing to me. Bye!